All right, let's open up with a prayer. All brothers remove the head coverings, all sisters pray with the heads covered. Abba Father, Yahweh, Elohim, the Allah of Abraham, Yashak, and Yaakov. Covenant Father, Elohim of Yasharal, we come before you once again, humbled as your servants, Yah. We ask humbly that you allow your spirit of understanding, wisdom, and knowledge to reside with us as we rightly divide these scriptures, seeking the narrow path back unto you, and so that we can not only lead by example, but also help our brothers and sisters who are also seeking the same salvation and the same home may benefit from our failures and our successes, Yah, as we learn and accept the chastening that you put in our life. Yah, we ask that you please forgive us of our sins and trespasses, Yah, and please enable us to better use this grace period, Yah, to find our way to salvation, Yah. For we know that we all receive this grace, but we want to make sure that we use this time wisely to seek you. These things we thank and pray through your holy, humble, anointed Son, Yahshua HaMashiach. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Shalom. My name is YAH Yasharal, my brother Wesley Yasharal. Shalom. And the title of today's Bible study is Light of the Word. Light of the Word. And, you think about it. What does light do? What do we use light for? When it's daytime and it's bright outside and you can see everything, do you cut the light on? You cut a flashlight on? That's kind of foolish. It doesn't make any sense. And in our life, there's moments of light, there's moments of darkness. And when you're in a moment of darkness, you don't have to stumble around. You can get a light. And we do that all the time. Things are too dark, we get a light, or we cut the light on in the room, or we do something and it makes sense. But what about in our lives when we're in darkness? How do we cut that light on? What is that light? And what is it for? And once we understand what that light is and how it can be used, we can utilize it properly. It's like the first time you found a flashlight or something of that nature. You figured out, oh, there's a flashlight on my cell phone. When it get dark, you figure out how to use it. But if you don't know how to use it, then you just suffer. You stumble around. When you can't see things clearly, you stumble around. And it's not only in trying to find your direction, but it's also in identifying something. Even in digital photography and digital video, if you don't have enough light in your video, then you're going to get a gray dot because the computer doesn't know, the chip on the camera doesn't know what to assign that dot, that specific pixel. So it just puts a gray dot. So you got a bunch of gray dots, you get grainy footage, you can't really see the details. And Yahshua said, I came to magnify the law, which is to make more clear. When you magnify something, you can see the details. And you can't make a proper decision without the proper details. So that's what the light is for. It's to give you more details, to let you know what you're looking at, and to guide you and lead you in the darkness so that you don't stumble. So we're going to examine that. It says, before I open up, I want to just read something. It says, Yahshua says unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes unto the Father but by me. So this journey is a dark journey because you have spiritual wickedness in high places. And there's only one way to the Father. To get through that darkness is you're going to need the light, because like we've read in 2nd Esdras, on one side you got a deep abyss, a bottomless pit of abyss water, and the other side you got fire. And without that light, you can't keep your eye on that narrow path. So what does the way, the truth, the life have to do with the light of the word. So let's open up in YAH chapter 49. Let's get right into it. Isaiah chapter 49. Knowing what to do should be the easy part. The hard part is actually doing it. But half the time we get stuck at just knowing what to do because we want to do things based upon how we feel. My gut feeling tells me this, tells me that. But that's all been manipulated. All of it. And it's biased. It's like if you ask me, rate your wife. What's my wife? The most beautiful woman in the world. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. It's not Shabbat. I want to say that. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna argue with me? Gonna say your wife the most? It's my perspective. It's mine. It's what I believe. So your body operates the same way. You gonna feel what's right is what helps you, what makes you feel good. So you could be right. You're not always wrong. It ain't like your gut feelings didn't get you to where you're at. But it's not always right. So how do you know? You got to expose some more details. You got to put some light on it and see what happens. Light also is one of the best disinfectants in the world. You can put stuff out in sunlight. It's going to kill almost any bacteria. So there's a lot of usages for it. Isaiah chapter 49, and we're going to read verses 1 through 13.
To go along with what you said, Proverbs 14:12 says, "There's a way which seems right unto a man, but the end thereof is of death." And also, every man's way seems right in his own eyes.
Right. Because it's all based upon information that you have. You don't have all the information, but you have enough information to where it seems like this is going to be the favorable outcome.
Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 1. "Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, you people, from far. Yahweh has called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother has he made mention of my name."
Okay, so if he knew you and called you from the womb, from the bowels of your mother, he made mention of your name, then obviously y'all reconciling that child when he's inside that mother's womb. So that's murder when you kill that child. Yah has already decided that there's going to be a life here. And if you kill that life, it's murder. And you can say, well, I guess it wasn't Yah's will that the baby come here because the baby died or you killed the baby. Well, that's like saying it wasn't Yah's will that the woman that just, Tatiana or whatever, that just got killed in Fort Worth, it wasn't Yah's will that she should live. Yeah, ultimately, but you're still guilty of murder for killing that woman. Just like you're guilty of murder for killing a child, other than a reason like, life or death. Go ahead.
"And he has made my mouth like a sharp sword, in the shadow of his hand has he hid me, and made me a polished shaft, in his quiver has he hid me. And said unto me, You are my servant, O Yasharal, in whom I will be glorified."
Israel, you are my servant. Go ahead.
"Then I said, I have labored in vain, I have spent my strength for naught, and in vain, yet surely my judgment is with Yahweh, and my work with my Elohim. And now says Yahweh that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him, through Yisrael, Yasharal be not, though Yasharal be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of Yahweh, and my Elohim shall be my strength."
So he's telling you right here what your purpose in life is. Once you understand what your nationality is. This is why they don't want us to know our nationality of Israelites as Hebrews. Because we might stumble upon in here what is the job of the children of Israel. It says point blank, "I formed you from the womb to be a servant, to bring Jacob again to him. And though Yasharal be not gathered," he said he's going to be glorious in the eyes of Yah. Go ahead.
Verse 6. "And he said, It is a light thing that you should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the preserved of Yasharal. I will also give you for a light to the Gentiles, that you may be my salvation unto the end of the earth.
All right, so helping your people, that's a light thing. That's like saying, oh, guess what? I just fed my kids and I put some clothes on them. Congratulate, slow clap. Give this man an award. You did what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You get no credit for that. Now you go across the street and you go feed somebody else's kids because they parents then listen, hey, I might give you a nod. I'm still not giving you no applause. You're supposed to do that. But now here he's saying, I'm also going to make you a light unto the Gentiles. A light unto the Gentiles. Think about that. The Gentiles are in darkness. They stumbling around, falling all over the place. But if you're in the dark, if the place is pitch black and you're walking and somebody falls, you're going to try to help them. You're not going to say, oh man, you're an idiot, you fell. It's pitch black. So we are supposed to be the ones bringing the light to them. What is that light? Is it just we just great people and we're going to glow and you're supposed to just worship us? No, that's not what that means. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 7. Thus says Yahweh, the Redeemer of Yasharal and his Holy One.
And his Holy One. So it seems like this is Elohim here. There's multiple people. Yahweh, the Redeemer of Yasharal, and his Holy One. Go ahead.
To whom man despises, to whom the nation abhors, to a servant of rulers, kings shall see and arise, princes also shall worship, because of Yahweh that is faithful, and the Holy One of Yasharal, and he shall choose you.
Because Yah is faithful, and the Holy One, his word, the Savior word of Yah, the Mashiach, that is the Holy One of Yasharal. And the Holy One. These are two, but all those make one. Go ahead.
Thus says Yahweh, in an acceptable time have I heard you, and in a day of salvation have I helped you, and I will preserve you, and give you for a covenant of the people, to establish the earth to cause to inherit the desolate heritage.
In an acceptable time. That means his time, not when we feel like it, because we understand something. Go ahead.
Verse 9, that you may say to the prisoners, go forth, to them that are in darkness, show yourselves.
So that's what our light is for. To free prisoners. When you're in darkness, you can't move. Just like when you're in pitch black, you don't walk freely and run. You very slow to walk in your hands, and you take your time because you're afraid. You don't know it could be a tree right dead in front of your face. That's like prison. Being trapped. You can't move freely. You don't know how to move. You don't know what pitfall is in front of you. But when we expose the light, you can see what's in front of you. Well, I can't walk that way, but I can walk that way. Go ahead.
That you may say to the prisoners, go forth, to them that are in darkness, show yourselves. They shall feed in the ways, and their pastures shall be in all the high places. They shall not hunger nor thirst, neither shall the heat nor sun smite them. For he that has mercy on them shall lead them, even by the springs of water shall he guide them. And I will make all my mountains a way, and my highways shall be exalted. Behold, these shall come from afar, and lo, these from the north, and from the west, and these from the land of Sinim. Sing, O heavens, and be joyful, O earth, and break forth into singing, O mountains. For Yahweh has comforted his people, and will have mercy upon his afflicted.
All right, so we know that we are supposed to be the light unto the Gentiles. And it is a light thing for us to raise up the tents of Jacob. Let's go to Genesis chapter 1. Let's take a look at this light. We're going to read Genesis chapter 1, and we're going to read 1 through 19. And we just want to take a look at these words for light so that we can get a clear understanding. Bereshit chapter 1, and we're going to read verses 1 through 19.
In the beginning, Elohim created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, And the spirit of Elohim moved upon the face of the waters. And Elohim said, let there be light, and there was light.
All right, so clearly everybody knows day one he created light. So let's look at this word for light so we know what he's talking about here. The Hebrew word for light here that was created on the first day is ore, which is H216. And that is illumination or luminary in every sense, including lighting, happiness, bright, clear, daylight, morning, sun. So it is illumination. All right, go ahead.
Verse 3. And Elohim said, let there be light, and there was light. And Elohim saw the light, that it was good, and Elohim divided the light from the darkness.
All right, so he divided the light from the darkness. Now the opposite of that light was darkness. That's Hoshek, which is the dark. Hence darkness, misery, destruction, death, ignorance, sorrow, wickedness. So this is what was here first. Chaos, darkness. Then light came, which is illumination, which light things up so that you can know what to do. Go ahead.
And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. And Elohim said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters.
All right, actually, let's jump down. Go to verse 14.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 14. And Elohim said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
All right, so he said he divided the in verse 4, he said, and Elohim saw the light, which is ore, that it was good, and he divided the ore from the hoshek. He divided the illumination from the confusion. This is on day 1. Now we're in day 4 at verse 14, and he said, let there be lights. So if this is the same word, then it would just be plural of ore, but it's not. It's a completely different Hebrew word. The Hebrew word that for lights that was created in the firmament was maor, which is H3974, or maor. And that's spelled M-A-O-R. And that's properly a luminous body, figuratively brightness, cheerfulness. So it's a similar word, but it's a different word with a different root word. So maore or maor is a luminous body. So now you're talking about the light, which is the actual light, and then now you're talking about something that's giving off light, like the light in this room versus a light bulb. A light bulb is a light, but the light bulb is giving off light. And then there's the light itself. So the light, the luminaries were created on the 4th day. So now you can see clearly there's 2 different lights being created here. One light, which was created on the 1st day, and then another light, which has a purpose here. Let's see the purpose of this light. Go ahead.
And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Elohim made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. All
right, and I always point this out. When you see he made, if you looked at the end of the verse 16, it says he made the stars also. Well, if you look at the original Hebrew, it would have just said lesser light to rule the night, stars. That's it. It wouldn't have said he made, and there wouldn't have been no also, because there's only one word there, kobab, for stars. They added that to make it look like stars was different. No, stars give off light. The moon does not give off light. The moon reflects light, like if you get a big reflector and hold it up against light. Go ahead.
And Elohim set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day.
All right, so there we clearly see that you had the ore, which Yah created on day one, is a different light than the luminaries, the Maor, that was created on the fourth day. Let's see what that is. Go to John chapter 1, Yohanan chapter 1. And I know this is review for a lot of people, but we're going to get to the point shortly. This is important for people that are going to be, or come in contact with those that don't believe in the Mashiach. It's important to establish what light is, where that light comes from, and the importance of that light. Because you have a lot of people that believe in the word and claim that they don't believe in Mashiach, but don't understand that if you believe in the word, you believe in Mashiach. You just don't believe in the Greek mentality, the Greek God idol worship that they try to push on us. And we agree with that too. We don't believe in that either. John chapter 1, we're going to read 1 through 18.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim.
All right, so this is simultaneous with Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim. So again, just like he said in Isaiah chapter 49, YAH and his Holy One is clearly two that are in one. And here you see the same situation. Something was with YAH, but was YAH. Go ahead.
The same was in the beginning with Elohim. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made.
So this word that was with YAH in the beginning made everything. Go ahead.
In him was life, and the life was the light of men.
Okay. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. So this light of men, we're not talking about the sun. We're not saying the sun was in man. That's what was the life of men. No. The light and life of men is the light that was created on the first day. The light that separates darkness. Go ahead.
In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not.
Again, this light, this understanding that was here in the beginning shines in the darkness. That's when it shines the brightest. That's what it's for. It's for darkness. But those that cannot take that light in won't understand it. Go ahead.
There was a man sent from Elohim whose name was John, Yohanan. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe.
So this is a different type of light, because you don't need to bear witness of the sunlight. Unless somebody's asking you, hey, is it sunny outside? But you don't need to convince nobody of that. So this is a different type of light. This is a light that, just like you want to bear witness that it's sunny outside, you have to say, look outside. It's bright. Well, it's the same thing with the light of men. You have to show them that light and bear witness to that light. To show them that light in effect. Go ahead.
He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which lights every man that comes into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of Elohim, even to them that believe on his name.
All right, so this word was the light of man, the life in man. And all those that received that light, that word, they became sons of Elohim. Sons of light, not sons of darkness, sons of the day, not sons of the night. Go ahead.
Which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of Yahweh.
All right, so now if this was a natural light, I can give you that flashlight. I can give it to you here. You can take it. But this is a spiritual light. This is life. We can't give that to we can't give nobody life. We can reproduce, but at the end of the day, we still got to depend on Yah's will that child is gonna sprout. So this is the will of Yah. So when people are in darkness, all you can do is give them light. And it is Yah's will whether or not they're able to receive it. Just like a blind person. A blind person cannot see light. I'm talking about somebody completely blind. Cannot see light unless Yah allows them to see light. Go ahead.
And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth.
All right, so this Word, which was the light, which was the life of man, which was Elohim, and with Elohim, was made flesh. And that's what people have a problem with. They have a problem accepting the fact that Yah would put his word, his light of man, into one man that looks like us. That's their problem. At the end of the day, it is an inferiority complex. When we was Christians, we had no problem believing this white man had all this light. It was the God in the flesh. But then when we find out we Israel, now we have a problem believing that a man that looked like us can have the light, can be the word in flesh. Because then if he looked like us and is from us and has all this, then maybe I'm accountable for my actions. Matter of fact, let's stop there. Let's go to John chapter 17. So we understand the word is the light and is the life of man. So just in those few chapters, it's groundbreaking. The word was created on day one, in the beginning, with Yah. And it is the life of all men. And if you accept that light, if that light, that word is in you, then you become sons of Elohim. It's not just an Israel thing. Anybody. But guess what? It's not the will of man that you get that. I can't say because you Israel, I guarantee you gonna get this light. I can't do that. I can't say because you're a Gentile, I guarantee you can't get that light. I can't do that. All I can do is shine the light and give the light out. That's all we can do. John, Yohanan chapter 17. And let's see what the word is.
These words spake Yahshua, and lifted up his eyes to heaven, and said, Father, the hour is come. Glorify your Son, that your Son also may glorify you. As you have given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many you have given him. And this is life eternal, that they might know you, the only true Elohim, and Yahshua Mashiach, whom you have sent. I have glorified you on the earth. I have finished the work which you gave me to do. And now, O Father, glorify you me with your own self, with the glory which I had with you before the world was.
Before the world was. Go ahead.
I have manifested your name unto the men which you gave me out of the world. Yours they were, and you gave them me, and they have kept your word.
So all these men came out of the world. So ain't nobody just floating around like you just this holy, perfect creation. Yahshua was that only perfect creation like that. Everybody else was taken out of the world and exposed to the light. And either they accepted that light or they didn't. That is the manifestation of the Father, manifesting his name. That's not just saying Yah, Yahweh, Yahuwah, or Yahuwah, or Yahweh, or what. That's not manifesting the name. Because our forefathers at the time when we were in our land knew the name, but they turned around and did the wickedness, the same thing we doing now. So that's not what he's talking about. It's manifesting his character. Let me put light on your actions so you can know the difference between Yah, salvation, life, and sin, transgression, death. But you have to take that light in so that you can see the details of this. And that's how you manifest his character. His Shem is knowing the way of Yah, the way of righteousness, so that you can know which path to choose. But you still have to choose that path.
Now they have known that all things whatsoever you have given me are of you. For I have given unto them the words which you gave me, and they have received them, and have known surely that I came out from you, and they have believed that you did send me. I pray for them, I pray not for the world, but for them which you have given me, for they are yours. And all mine are yours, and yours are mine, and I am glorified in them. And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to you, Holy Father, keep through your own name those whom you have given me, that they may be one as we are.
Keep through your own character those whom you have given me. So your character, Yah, is righteousness. Your words, your ways that you have given me. Keep them through this. If they operate according to this character, then they're going to be one with you as we are one. Because that's what Mashiach was doing. He was walking according to the character of Yah, according to the light of Yah, according to the word of Yah. Go ahead.
While I was with them in the world, I kept them in your name. Those that you gave me I have kept, and none of them is lost, but the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled. And now come I to you, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. I have given them your word,
your light,
and the world has hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. I pray not that you should take them out of the world, but that you should keep them from the evil.
So why would he take the light out of the world if your job as the light is to expose the darkness and what's in the darkness? So he can't take you out of your situation. So you look, man, why am I in this? Why am I dealing with all these things? Why I gotta be in this bad situation? Why am I around these people? Because you're a light. You're supposed to be a light unto the Gentiles, the heathens. And just because you Israel don't make you an Israelite. You could be a straight up heathen. And that light is for you. So that you can see your ways and say, look, I see Yah's character and I see my ways and so I need some straightening. I'm crooked. But he said, no, I don't want to take them out of the world. That's what we want to do. I just want to get away from the world, just get away from everything and just be here with my light. What's the purpose? Imagine your flashlight. You put your flashlight on the counter right here, and it's in case the power goes out. Power goes out, you gonna rush for that flashlight. The flashlight, man, I don't like all that darkness, bro. Man, I'm over here in the sunlight. But you was created to be a light for situations that's in darkness. Nah, but my battery get hot. I don't like that. What you gonna do with that flashlight, bro? You finna get rid of that flashlight. Go ahead.
That's encouraging. Verse 17 or 16. They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Sanctify them through your truth. Your word is the truth.
Now you understand what the word is. The word is truth. Yah's word is truth. So you have all these things simultaneously. The word was Elohim. The word was with Elohim. The word was the light of man. This light was the life of man. And this word is truth. And that truth will sanctify you, will separate you from everybody else. Because the world don't like the truth. You want to get rid of the world? All you got to do is speak the truth. They gonna dip. They not coming around you. You don't have to separate yourself from the world. All you need to do is give the truth. And watch how quick they disappear. It's just that simple. But see, we don't want the situation. We don't want the darkness. We don't want the danger that's in the darkness. Because we're afraid we're not going to operate properly according to the light. Go ahead.
As you have sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world. And for their sakes I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth. Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word.
All right, so there's other people that haven't manifested yet. We have to understand that. Look, I can pray for everybody in the word. These people right here, they're not in the word. But in the future, they will be. And we have to treat each individual like that. We can't judge. We didn't get a list and say, bro, he ain't on the list. I'm sorry. I can't. Nah, I'm not wasting no time, bro. He ain't going to get it. That's judgment. You don't got no list. Because at one time, you wasn't on that list.
If I can interject, I can bear witness to this personally, because 2 years ago I wasn't in the Word, and I was manifested. The light was given to me, and I have a brother that came into the Word through me. Now this wasn't of my will. Obviously, like just as the Word says, it wasn't of my will because I didn't. I actually tried to get my brother to come to Shabbats and whatnot, and or just to come and visit and see what's going on, and come check out what I was into, and he didn't come. You know what I'm saying? So
wasn't his time.
Right, that was that. But now, he's celebrating Shabbat with me every week, you know what I'm saying? And now he has that light also, but that was not my doing. That was YAH using me for that,
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
The flashlight. That's
So-
it.
So it's just as it was written, It's interesting.
Amen. And how stupid are you to say to West 2 years ago? You're that's it. You going to the lake of fire. You're not going to be a righteous individual. You're not going to be. You ain't no Israelite. How you know what's going to happen tomorrow or the day after the day? Oh, I'm looking at your actions and I can see clearly you're not going to be of the world. And that's what we do as human beings. That's ridiculous. But see, y'all don't. You wonder, like, man. I know I pray this. I still pray this. Like, why are you so merciful to me? What is it? Why are you so merciful to me? Because even the little bit of good works that I do, I still mess up and you still merciful to me and I just cannot get it. And then I have to remind myself he sees the finished product. He knows where I'm going to be. He knows where I'm going to be. So if he has called me and chosen me, he's going to deal with me according to the end result. And we don't know that. And that's why we can't judge either direction. We can't give no man too much esteem, and we can't disrespect no man because we don't know what the end result is. Now, after he died, that's why we pray for people, because now his testimony is sealed. A testimony is only an effect after death. That's why there's a New Testament, because there was a death. Go ahead.
John Yohanan chapter 17 and verse 21. Go back to verse 20. Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word, that they all may be one, as you, Father, are in me, and I am in you, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that you have sent me. And the glory which you gave me, I have given them, that they may be one, even as we are one. I in them, and you in me, that they may be made perfect in one, and that the world may know that you have sent me, and have loved them as you have loved me. Father, I will that they also, whom you have given me, be with me where I am, that they may behold my glory which you have given me, for you loved me before the foundation of the world. O righteous Father, the world has not known you, but I have known you, and these have known that you have sent me.
So he's known them from the foundation of the world, because the truth is the truth. The truth has been here from the very beginning, and YAH is the truth. And whatever he says the truth is not coming back. Go ahead.
And I have declared unto them your name, and will declare, that the love wherewith you have loved me may be in them, and I in them.
Amen. And it's deep, because it says in the beginning was darkness. Then he said, let there be light, and there was light. Right? But guess what? It was darkness. YAH had to create that darkness. How did he create that darkness? His word. His word. That word was here in the beginning. And he decided that his word is the truth. And that truth is the light. And he decided to manifest that light however he wants to manifest it. And it's not something you physically see. That's Mayor. That's that light. That's the sun and stars and all that type of stuff. But this light is something that you see the evidence of that light. You can't physically see that light. And it's the same thing that goes on in your mind when this invisible light that you can't see lights up a situation and you're like, no. I'm not going to do that. Because you have your commandments, which is your lamp. And then you have the light comes out the lamp that exposes everything. And you say, you know what? I was going to say, because the commandments say, thou shalt not kill. But this dude about to kill this baby right here. And I'm going to have to take him out before he hurt my family. I got some more light here. Now it's the difference between killing and murder. All right, let's move on. Let's go to John chapter 15. Let's go back. And let's start this at start at verse 1.
John chapter 15 and verse 1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that bears not fruit he takes away, and every branch that bears fruit he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now you are also clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
So this is what cleanses you. Not just the water, but also this word, this truth. The truth shall set you free. It's the sin, it's the lie that keep you prisoner. It keeps you unclean. So you are cleansed through the word when you accept the truth. When you accept the truth, and the truth didn't make you not sin. You already sinned, but the truth is, I transgressed. Let me repent. Let me restore. Let me confess. Now you are cleansed. Go ahead.
Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can you, except you abide in me.
So abide in the truth. Abide in the word. Abide in the light. Abide in the life. Go ahead.
I am the vine, you are the branches. He that abides in me, and I in him, the same brings forth much fruit. For without me you can do nothing.
Can you bring fruit without life? Something dead can't produce life. It has to be changed. There has to be a miracle. Go ahead.
If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch, and is withered, and men gather them, and cast them into the fire, and they are burned.
So what good is it you, as you are a servant that was created to bear light, to be a light unto the Gentiles, to help the tribes of Jacob, and you're not producing any light. You're not producing any fruit. Well, guess what? You was created for something. Y'all said, I got vessels for honor and dishonor. And he's telling you what it is. It's cast into the fire. Because guess what? That fire gonna keep somebody warm. Or it's gonna clear up the area.
If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you.
If you abide in the truth. And the truth, Yah's word is truth. So you're not gonna try to ask for things that's going to go against his truth, because you're one with the Father. You're abiding in him.
Herein is my Father glorified, excuse me, that you bear much fruit. So shall you be my disciple.
You are a disciple, one that is disciplined of the Mashiach, is that you are going to bear much fruit. So where's your fruit? What's the fruit? Where's the fruit? Go ahead.
As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Continue you in my love. If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love.
All right, so he's telling you the commandments are given in the word. Keep his commandments. And he commanded us to be righteous. And he said, this is how you be righteous. He commanded us to be holy. This is how you be holy. He commanded us to be tamim, spotless. This is how you be spotless or perfect. Go ahead.
These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends, if you do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knows not what his master does, but I've called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you, that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. These things I command you, that you love one another.
It's just like when you have a manager with a business and they give you a card, or even a driver, and they give you a gas card. They give you that gas card because they trust that you are going to use it for the benefit, produce fruit, to produce for the owner. They're not giving it to you so you can go stand at the gas station and you need some gas, throw me $20, I'll fill up the tank. They're not using it for that. So this is what he's giving it to us. So he's not giving it to you so that you run out of gas and you in the middle of nowhere. He's like, bro, I gave you a gas. Why you ain't feel it? I ain't feel like it. He's trying to finish up. So this is why he's giving us the Spirit. This is why he's giving us the light to produce, to go out and do, to use it right, not to use this light to abuse somebody, to go trolling on Gentiles because they don't, and Christians because they don't understand the word to make yourself feel better. Or to use the word to blaspheme the Holy Spirit is when you turn the truth into a lie. That's not what it's for. Let's stop there. Let's go to let's go to Isaiah, YAH chapter 8. And we're just going to read verses 11 through 22. Isaiah.
For Yahweh spake thus to me with a strong hand, and instructed me that I should not walk in the way of this people, saying, Say you not a confederacy to all them to whom this people shall say, a confederacy. Neither fear you their fear, nor be afraid.
So while, all our people up there pledging allegiance to the flag and testifying and putting their hand on it, don't make no confederacy with the people they make a confederacy with. Go ahead.
Sanctify Yahweh of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread.
And this gets rid of a lot of depression, a lot of fear, a lot of paralyzation from analysis. Understand that you can't do everything yourself. You can't make everything happen yourself. We get so, especially successful people or talented people, it's harder for you. This is why you don't pick all the most intelligent people and the geniuses of the world, because you're so used to saying, you a God. I want to do this. This is going to happen. There's certain things that there's room that it has to be of Yah's will, but we don't believe in that. We believe in I want what I want. I want to do what I want to do. And that was almost like with the building. We wanted it so bad. We want a capital for our people. We're going to put the most beautiful artwork in here. We're going to paint it. We're going to give the best classes. We're going to invite everybody. And Yah's like, look, if I wanted that, if I wanted y'all to have this big building, y'all would have the building. The last thing I did with your brothers, I knocked down all the buildings. So what make you think that that's my will? If that's my will, you will have that. Go ahead.
And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Yasharal, for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken.
And that's what the commandments is. A lot of people tripping on it, being snared and broken and taken because they never received the light. They had the lamp, but they never received the light. They never cut the light on. So they thinking that everything is good because they got, I'm good. It's dark. Psh, I ain't worried. I got my lamp. Then falling into a bottomless pit. Did you cut the lamp? Did you put some oil in it? Did you cut it on? Did you use it? Nah, I just had it with me though. I know about it. They falling. Go ahead.
Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples, and I will wait upon Yahweh that hides his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Behold, I and the children whom Yahweh has given me are for signs and for wonders in Yasharal from Yahweh of hosts, which dwells in Mount Zion.
And this is why he chose us. We are signs and wonders. I know people, on my timeline that grew up with me or did dirt with me, look, they just wondering, like, I wonder what happened to him. I had people send messages like, bro, what happened? Like, they want me to say some amazing story like, yeah, God flew down from heaven and a dove landed on my shoulder and he said, stop selling drugs. Like, no, stop womanizing. No, that's not how it happened. But you're a sign and a wonder because Yah can take anybody and he could clean that person up and make them better than what they are. Now that's why it's not your right to take credit for that and say, well, I'm a great guy. No. Anything that's great in me is YAH. Point blank, even before I knew YAH, if there was good there, that came from YAH too. You don't take it personal from your brothers and sisters when they fall because you realize that's them. All right, so let's replace you with the word, with light, with life, with the truth. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 19. And when they shall say, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and that mutter, should not a people seek unto their Elohim, for the living to the dead, to the law and to the testimony? If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
Dead people walking. That's the walking dead right there. If they speak not according to the law, which is Torah, we can look at that. Law is Torah, H8451. Torah, Torah. That's a precept or statute, especially the Pentateuch. So this is the first 5 books. The Torah, the Penta. That's what Penta stands for, the first 5. So that's the law, right? If they speak not according to that, the instructions, the lamp, they speak not according to that, and testimony. Testimony is Teuda, which is H8584. That's attestation. That is precept. Testimony. So if they speak not testifying the law, there's no life in them. If when you talking to them, it is a situation and they're not lighting up the situation with the law and testifying that thy word is truth, they dead men walking. They have no life. Because you can't do that without the light. And there's no light in them. But guess what? Yahshua praying for those people too. Because some of those people are going to receive the light in the future. And here's a spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. All right. Turn this off if you don't want the spoiler alert. You don't want to hear this. You might give them the light. That might be you. That might be your job. The word might be true where it says that you are going to be a light unto the tribes of Jacob and a light to the Gentiles. But they didn't have that before you. So you can't be judging them. Look at this guy with his pants hanging around his ankles, man. I'm not casting my pearls among swine. Did you talk to the man? I did a bunch of stupid stuff trying to just fit in because this was cool. I done wore my shirt, my Yankee jersey backwards and stuff because Chris Cross was wearing this, and I was like, well, he looked like he got all the girls. So I'm wearing my stuff backwards. Paris, what is you, an idiot? You got your pants, how you gonna pee? Your pants is on back. Leave me alone. We all did stupid stuff. So who are you gonna judge somebody? Just give them the light. If somebody's stumbling around, oh, hey, you need some light, cut the light on. If they don't want the light, they can cut it off. That's on them. Go ahead.
Verse 21. And they shall pass through it hardly bestead and hungry, and it shall come to pass that when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves and curse their king and their Elohim and look upward.
And another point to verse 20. Be very, very careful with anybody who's testifying against the law. Be very, very careful because that's borderline blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. Turn the truth into a lie. Be very careful. Don't judge nobody. Hey, you're a dead man. He might understand something of the law. You don't. There's been times that I understood a certain thing and then it was exposed to me. I was like, oh, okay. I grew up in Babylon. I didn't know that. Finish it up.
And they look unto the earth and behold trouble and darkness, dimness of anguish, and they shall be driven to darkness.
Because they rejected the light. You reject the light, okay, you won't be in darkness? Go ahead, dwell in darkness. That's what you wanted, right? Proverbs chapter 6. Mishlei chapter 6. And then we got one more for the conclusion. Proverbs Mishlei chapter 6.
My son, if you be sure of your friend, if you have stricken your hand with a stranger, you are snared with the words of your mouth. You are taken with the words of your mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver yourself. When you are coming to the hand of your friend, go, humble yourself, and make sure your friend.
All right, jump down to verse 12.
A naughty person, a wicked man, walks with a froward mouth. He winks with his eyes, he speaks with his feet, he teaches with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart, he devises mischief continually, he sows discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly, suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. These 6 things does Yahweh hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him.
All right, so if you love the Father, you're studying 2 things. Things that makes him happy and things that he hates. You want to do the things that make him happy and you don't want to do the things that he hates. This is what you do when you love somebody. When you love somebody, you take the time to figure that out. You don't say you love a woman and she hates certain things and you ain't try to learn that. Go ahead.
A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood.
That first one's a tough one. A proud look. How do you like fix that? What if you just look like that? You just look proud. You know what I'm saying? Just that's just your face. You know, you just you know what I'm saying? Like the guy from was it Captain Morgan? Like he just got his foot up on one thing. Like what if you just like how do you can't see your look? All you can do is try to have humble thoughts. Try to humble yourself. And you know you got a proud look because if you got a proud look, you got proud thoughts. And it's not to say you should have low self-esteem thoughts, but when you hear yourself with those proud thoughts, give God glory then. You know, you feel confident. Ain't nothing wrong with being confident. Like, man, I feel like I can go in here and I can take on anything. Okay, don't be proud. You know, if it's Yah's will, I can handle anything, you know, because I can do all things through Christ. Change it around. Give him the glory. Then it ain't proud. Now you proud of Yah. That'll change your look because when you humble yourself and you humble yourself in your mind, even your facial expression changes.
Proverbs 3:26 says, for Yah will be your confidence and keep your foot from falling into a trap. We're on Proverbs chapter 6, verse 18. A heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief.
And this is what I thought also in relation to the offline conversation that we have. That heart is often, you know, a symbol for your mind and how you think and how you deal with people. So when you have hardened heart, right? Your heart is not hardened, it's still his flesh, it's beating. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Everybody's heart similar. But your mind is different. What if that hardening of your heart is hardening of your pineal gland? That's what I was thinking. I don't know where these revelations just came to me, but it just circumcise your heart, cut off that stony part of your pineal gland so that you can be one with the Father, face to face. He can communicate, he can guide you. The Holy Spirit can tell you what to do. But it's been hardened.
Makes a lot of sense. Verse 19, a false witness that speaks lies, and he that sows discord among brethren. My son, keep your father's commandment, and forsake not the law of your mother. Bind them continually upon your heart, and tie them about your neck. When you go, it shall lead you. When you sleep, it shall keep you. And when you awake, it shall talk with you. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is a light. And reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
All right, so the commandment, I say this all the time, is a lamp. The precept, the law is light. And reproofs of instruction are the way of life. The way of light is the reproof. When you are off, when the light is exposing that you're off, this is the way to live. Because it's saying this is the light. Go towards the light. Walk towards the light. Walk towards the truth. Go ahead.
To keep you from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman.
And those are talking about doctrines, spirits, evil spirits. Now, it could be a physical evil woman too, but that's not what this is really referring to. This is talking about these doctrines, these flattering doctrines like, yeah, you ain't got to keep the commandments because we in Babylon. Nah. It says keep them we don't have to be righteous because you're not. Now, you don't do the animal sacrifice and the slaying, burnt sacrifice and all that type of stuff because you can't lawfully do that. It's just like the woman doesn't go get circumcised because that wasn't lawful for her. That wasn't for her. That was for the son. But that doesn't mean that nobody should get circumcised because the woman don't do that. No, there's instructions how things need to be done. Certain things can only be done in Jerusalem. So now it's memorialized. Our prayers are the incense. Our hands are the waving of the offering. Go ahead.
Lust not after her beauty in your heart, neither let her take you with her eyelids. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life.
So don't even entertain it. I know in my early 20s, I fell a lot because I would lie to myself and say, well, I'm just going to go over there and we just going to, Netflix and chill or whatever, at 3 o'clock in the morning. Right. Yeah. What movie you going to watch at 3 o'clock in the morning? Right. I'm not going to do nothing, we just gonna be friends. Man, what female friend you ever had in your life? You grew up with all brothers. You ain't had no female friends. Stop lying to yourself. Now, that's me. I know other brothers, they grew up with sisters. Like y'all had sisters, so you'd be more likely to be friends with female. You had that relationship. I didn't. I had my mom do whatever. Hey, mom, I'm hungry. I got my laundry. Gotta go. I love you, mom. All right, mom, I need some money. Can I borrow the car? Hey. That's all I understood. So it's different, but other brothers are different. But if you know that you're going to fall, don't lie to yourself. Keep yourself out of the situation.
I think that goes perfect with this next verse. It says, can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned?
But hey, that's what we thought. Can a man not wear protection and not get burnt? Eventually you're going to get burnt, bro. You keep playing around. Go ahead.
Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned? So he that goes into his neighbor's wife, whosoever touches her shall not be innocent. Men do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his soul when he is hungry.
All right, so why would they say that right after it's talking about taking fire into your bosom, going into your neighbor's wife, and touching her, not being innocent? Then it says, man, don't despise the thief if he steals to satisfy his soul while he's hungry. Because y'all saying it's not apples to apples. You got a man that is starving, does not have a woman, and he gets caught into a situation where he falls to a woman. That's not the same thing as a man that got 3 wives and he over here raping little kids. That's not apples to apples. That's a completely different situation. But guess what happens? Verse 31.
But if he be found, and he shall restore sevenfold, he shall give all the substance of his house.
So you get caught stealing when you hungry, you gonna have to restore sevenfold, 7 times. So consider a loan with very, very high interest if you're gonna steal. Go ahead.
But whoso commits adultery with a woman lacks understanding. He that does it destroys his own soul.
And those that have done that lacked understanding. Put that to adultery and add that into unlawful sex, things of that nature. We didn't understand. We thought that was the way of the world. We just did it. Once you understand, then you develop a conscience about that. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect from that point, but it gives you a point of reference to start trying to change that and be a better person.
A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though you give many gifts.
All right, so keep in mind, Yah considers us as an adulterous nation. He don't want no ransom. He don't want your offering. He don't want you. Yeah, I built all these buildings for you. Man, you worshiping this other God. I don't care. You did all these great things. You turn around and you gave it to some Greek blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy. No, I don't care. I don't care how many gifts you bring. Joshua, didn't I build all these things in your name? Get away from me, you worker of iniquity. I never knew you. But this is what we try to do. We try to buy our way. We try to spend a bunch of money. We try to do a bunch of good deeds instead of just not committing adultery against the Father, which is worship of another God. Let's go to the conclusion. Let's go to Matthew chapter 5. And we're just going to read 8 verses, 13 through 20. Matthew chapter 5 for the conclusion.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 13. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men.
All right. So what is salt known for? What do we use salt for?
Season.
Seasoning. That's kind of the modern term that we use. Salt, seasoning. We the seasoning. We the flavor of this world. What else is salt used for? In ancient times.
Was it used to preserve meat?
Preservative. That's what it's really for, is a preservative. So we're here to preserve life. We're here to preserve something, to keep it viable. If you're not keeping something viable to be, brought into the body like meat, you putting salt on the meat to keep the meat preserved so that you can put it into the body. So we're trying to preserve and help preserve people, dead people, because meat is dead, preserve them so they could be brought into the body. But if you're not able to do that, it's going to be cast to the ground and trodden underfoot because there's no purpose for you. Go ahead.
You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it gives light unto all that are in the house.
All right, so we are the light of the world. We are supposed to be his word, his truth, his life of the world, and to help the prisoners out of darkness. So if that is our place, how can we hide that away? How do we not give that out? How do we have a light? How do we not teach these things? How do we not talk about these things? How do we not spread these things to the four corners of the earth? That's the whole purpose. We the light of the world. Go ahead.
Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
So if he's telling you point blank, I did not come to destroy the law. So those that do believe in Mashiach, there's nothing, he's telling you, I didn't come to destroy this law. I came to fulfill, which is to make more complete, to add more light, more fullness, the fullness of that, the fullness of that light. Go ahead.
For verily I say unto you, to heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled.
Okay. So has earth passed away?
No.
as heaven passed away. Looked up, I still see sky. Still up there. So earth and heaven hasn't passed away. So not one jot the dot of an I or one tittle the cross of the T shall pass from the law till all be fulfilled. So the law of sin and death has not passed away. We have just grace period for the payment of sin. The payment of sin is death. And he bought us time, like your credit card bill. Your credit card bill, you might have 6-day or 30-day grace period where you don't get a penalty. But guess what? Bills still do. And after the grace period, they don't say, hey, your grace period is up. Don't worry about the bill. If they do tell you that, let me know what credit card company that is so I can apply and get me one of those. Go ahead.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Do you want to be great in the kingdom of heaven? Or do you want to be least in the kingdom of heaven? Now, I just want to be in the kingdom of heaven. But I don't want to be so least that I don't even make the kingdom of heaven. Do and teach. Be careful of those who teach you not to keep the commandments. But don't judge an individual because on the surface it appears that they're not keeping the commandment. Because we have a grace period and we have liberty in the Mashiach. And during this grace period, just like in the opening prayer, each man must seek his own salvation with fear and trembling. How are you going to tell the next man how he needs to seek his salvation? You don't know what he got going on in his life. We don't have all the information. So we can't judge that person. All we can do is admonish and rebuke. Hey, law says this is the word. This is the truth. Second witness to that. Here's the word, and I'm the second witness. Here you go. That's all you can do. You can't judge. That man got liberty. If he decides to do this and do that, we don't know what it is. We don't know what his gift or his calling or his charge is. Each part of the body got liberty to achieve its goal by any means necessary. And we have that liberty. But it's told by divine instruction, don't use that liberty for occasion of the flesh. That means you're only using the fact that you can do something and not get struck by lightning right away and die just so that you could, make your flesh feel good.
Verse 20. For I say that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
All right. So the scribes, they knew the law, they wrote it down. That was their job, but they didn't keep it. And they didn't believe that's like the Masoretes, the scribes. They knew the law and they wrote it down. They didn't keep it. Obviously, they didn't keep it or else we'd be in our land. The Pharisees told people the law and enforced the law, but didn't keep it. So telling people about the law, knowing the law, and writing the law is not enough. You have to do all of those things and teach people and keep the law. All those things in order to enter into the kingdom of heaven. And to do so, you're going to need that light. You're going to need to expose certain things within you so that you can fix those things. So that your brother can see certain things about you and he can help you fix those things. But at the end of the day, if you don't accept this light in your life, which is going to make your life ugly at first, because when you ain't cleaned up and there's been a dark room, that room is fine because it's dark. But once you cut on that light, you see all the dust and cobwebs and everything. It's real ugly at first. Even with matzah and unleavened bread, when you go over and you clean, the kitchen look horrible because you pulling everything out and moving everything around, and it just looks like chaos. But you got to move things around and dirty things up so that you can clean and reach back to get certain things that have been back there. And that's what that word does. It will cause a lot of chaos in our lives at first, and everything will seem out of order, but that has to happen so things can be put in its proper place and things can be exposed. So that's all we're going to do today. Any last questions or comments before we close in prayer? All right. Let's go ahead and end in prayer. Brother West, can you close us out in prayer, please?
All right. Oh, Father Yah, covenant Elohim of Abraham, Yeshak, and Yaakov. We thank you, Father Yah, for this class tonight, Father Yah. And we ask you, Father Yah, please show us how to be a light in our own lives, Father Yah, so that we can be used for your good, Father Yah, and your righteousness, Father Yah. Please help us not look at our situations in a selfish manner, but look at how we can manifest your light in our own respective situations, Father Yah. Please give us a mind of clarity, Father Yah, and help us keep your word on our minds, Father Yah, so that we can be that light, Father Yah, for you. Help us bear fruit, Father Yah. Teach us how to bear fruit, Father Yah, so that we may glorify you, Father Yah. In Yahshua HaMashiach's holy mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen.